Hello, hello, hello. Hello.
Here we are.
Welcome to the first virtual tasting for 2026.
Yeah, first of quite a few this year.
You've got me and Lachlan here to guide you through.
Yeah, we do.
And we're very excited to be back on deck here in our lovely new content studio.
This fantastic new backdrop.
Behind us, we've got a lot of stuff going on. So when we start to bore you, you can just sort of play Where's Wally in the background. And something will pop out, I'm sure. But hopefully it won't come to that.
With Wally. And yeah, so we're tasting through some of the new releases for the January outturn. Push it to the limit.
There's on there, man.
I know. And we've got quite a few really fun things coming out throughout the year. We're very much focused on releases of whiskey this year, so I'm really excited for our virtuals throughout the year.
Absolutely. There's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah. All right. Should we dive into our first whiskey in no time like the present?
Perfect.
So we are going to be starting off. I hope everyone's got their kits there and their tasting sheet as well. We are going in order today, so we're starting with the 6.83. It's that release right there. Now, it's really fun to start off with something at this age as well. 17-year-old. I'd say 17-year-old single cask, but
starting off with a bang.
Yeah, this is not a single cask. Some of you might have seen that we've started the 2-to-1 series last year. It's not something entirely new to the society, the 2-to-1 series. It's something that, you know, while we have been promoting single cask, that is primarily what we've done. There are examples going back from the 80s and 90s of multiple casks being married together and released as a single release. We are now just starting to put together things that you might have two casks that are distilled the same day and have a similar maturation trajectory that work really perfectly together and harmoniously. So
I think that background music is still on.
Oh, is it? Shouldn't be.
There we go. Thanks for the heads up, boys.
Thank you.
Anyway, back to the whiskey.
Back to the whiskey. I hope everyone still got everything that they needed from this.
So anyway, quick recap.
2-to-1. 2-to-1. It's not something new.
6.83.
Yeah.
Chewy textured meanderings. 17 years old. It is bottled from a single cask, but it's not itself a single cask whiskey as we know it.
Yes. One was transferred. It was 2 bourbon hogsheads originally. One was transferred at 12 years old from to a first fill Spanish oak Oloroso hogshead, while the other was transferred at 13-year-olds to a first fill American oak Oloroso hogshead. They were married together before bottling. Okay. Now, you'll start seeing more of these coming up. And as I was mentioning before, in case you didn't hear it because of the music, there are examples of us doing this going back until the 80s and early 90s as well. But we, put a name to this series that I think is really worth celebrating, because there's one thing that the society has always really been driven towards, I'm sure you'll agree, is that whiskey, as long as it is tasting good when it goes into the bottle, that is all that really matters.
Definitely the core focus is the flavor.
Yeah,
that's it.
At the end of the day.
But also the transparency,
I
think, is important as well. So it's not It's not hiding the fact that there are two
No.
casks involved.
We're showing you the trajectory of their maturation throughout
Exactly. Yeah.
that's time. And they're still distilled the same day, filled the same day. They live the same life. It's just separate from each other until they come together for the bottling.
But let's see if you can find any interesting flavors in here.
Mm.
For me, it's a lot about the bourbon cask on the nose. Lots of vanilla, lots of sweetness and sugars on the nose.
Have you seen much of the Oloroso at second maturation?
Not up front.
No. And I like the fact that there's the combination of both American and Spanish oak Oloroso.
The way I've heard it said is that the American oak tends to turn more of the sweetness of the sherry into the whiskey, whereas the Spanish oak tends to give you more of those spices that you'll see in the sherry.
Well, I think that's just it's the also the oak structure and tannin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But having that balance is better for an overall sort of balanced picture.
Yeah. And one of the casks had 5 years in sherry and one had 4. So
yeah, getting a bit more spice and bit of sweetness on the palate now. It's like a lovely chocolatey baked good.
Yeah. So I've always explained American oak is kind of like a blanket of tannin on the palate, where Spanish oak is much more leaning towards the back, but it's this big burst of nutty, spicy tannin structure. And I kind of see that really coming together, where the blanket of American oak is balanced out that kind of sudden bomb of Spanish oak.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially on this lighter spirit, matured for 17 years.
It's got a lot of length to it.
Yeah.
It's sitting on the palate for a long time. A lot of oils.
Really delicate sherry still. I can see why they put it into sweet, fruity, and mellow. It's very gentle.
For me, that fruitiness is coming out on the nose now. It's like a charred pineapple. Lots of sweetness, syrupy fruit, I would say. Maybe leaning towards that bourbon cask again, but supported by the sherry.
Yeah. I've always really enjoyed the distillery sixes. They tend to sit in the spicy and dry profile, or spicy and sweet, or juicy oak and vanilla. Really malty, beautiful character to them. Really biscuity as well. But usually they've been quite a lot younger than we've seen.
So yeah, we're seeing a lot more of the cask here. Not surprising after 17 years.
No. I just want to keep going back to this on the nose. The nose, I find something new every time. I'm seeing the ginger on the tasting notes now on the nose, which is really exciting.
Excellent.
Who have we got joining us so far? We've got Dov. Hi, Dov. Good to see you. Betty. Always great to see Mark Teague. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon, evening, wherever you're from.
Thanks for joining, Dave. You'll enjoy these ones on the weekend for sure.
I might add a bit of water to this to see how it opens up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how it develops in the glass.
Takes a bit of time.
Yeah. I'll leave mine for a bit later.
Yeah. Now, we've got quite a few whiskey. Well, we've got our standard amount of whiskeys, 5 whiskeys to go through.
Plenty of whiskey.
Plenty of whiskey, at least for us on a Wednesday evening. I've got the QR code for this particular whiskey up on the screen right now. I'll also mention early doors that we have a little special going on at the moment. You might have seen go out yesterday. Some of you might remember the Heresy release Marmalade Overdrive, which was had an extra maturation in Australian Shiraz cask sourced by our one and only Matt Bailey, represented on your mug. There you go.
Here with us in spirit. That makes it look like he's died.
It is a little bit retrospective, isn't it?
He's still alive.
So if you buy 2 or more bottles this week, you get a bottle of that Marmalade Overdrive. We thought we were completely out, but someone found a pallet somewhere in the world, and it all showed up here in Australia. So there we go. So
Lucky
why not?
us,
Why
really.
not give it back
It's
to
a
the
tasty
people?
whiskey.
Yeah, fantastic whiskey. I got asked so frequently when I first started in this role about Marmalade Overdrive. Just, is there more of it coming?
Here it is.
No, here it is. Okay. Why don't we? Haven't noticed that now that they've had some water in it. It's much more of that sweet malt coming forward.
Definitely. More of the spirit.
Okay. What are we up to next? We're up to cask 146, Strawberry Pop Tarts. This was malt of the month as well. Also, Australian Shiraz Barrique, this one.
You can see all of that Shiraz on the color.
Yeah.
That is red.
And Distillery 100 is another one that I particularly love, usually for its very soft, gentle, floral characteristics. It's very delicate spirit. So I'm interested to see how this wine has really played with it. So 7 years in ex-bourbon before 5 years in the Australian Shiraz.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of that Shiraz on the nose. There's a lot of that red berry sweetness.
Yeah.
Even down to even fresh grapes. It's a very sticky kind of nose.
Yeah, I get that like red currant, fresh red currant, and raspberry jam.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the ice fovos.
I mean, we're dancing around it, but the name absolutely
Strawberry
nails it,
Pop
right?
Tarts, yeah.
It's Strawberry Pop Tarts is very apt. It's sweet, it's confectionery, it's got that fake pastry, the lovely cardboardy pastry of a Pop Tart.
I'll also say straight away on the nose, it doesn't nose like 61%. I haven't tasted it yet, but I don't know. Okay, might as well have a crack at this. I haven't actually tasted this one yet. I don't think.
Gives me almost strawberry starburst kind of smell.
Wow. There's actually quite a lot of big timber on that. It actually, an ex-colleague of mine we talk about these AP Johnson casks all the time. They're big biscuity oak, toasted oak character. And they're used quite frequently in Australian wine, especially in Australian red wine. We see it a lot in Australian whiskey, that big toasted oak, dense biscuity oak characteristic from these casks.
Yeah, a lot of time though we see Australian whiskey that's gone over that line and it's a bit too tannic, a bit too sticky. It's taken too much extraction from that oak, but this seems to have treaded that line, even though it's got so much extraction from that cask. It's not overly tannic to me. It's not super drying on the palate. Still got that juiciness at its core.
And that comes down to the fact that these casks were all obviously matured in Scotland as well. You know, the climate was different. These were only 5 years in these casks, but 5 years in this climate would have just been insane. But it was just treated appropriately, you know.
That's the thing, yeah. After a taste, after it's coated my palate, there's a lot more of the sort of citrusy side to it on the nose for me.
Grapefruit.
Pink grapefruit, orange skin, even like a chartreuse herbal kind of thing going on. There's
yellow or green.
I think the yellow, the less herbal.
Yeah. Oh wow. There's also there's a little bit of like almost like pickled cherries kind of thing going on, or fermenting fruit that's coming off it now after it's sat for a little bit.
Yeah.
There's here in Melbourne. There's a fantastic rakia distillery, and they just did a cherry rakia, a cherry brandy, and I managed to get a nose of their ferment while it was going. It smells like these fermenting cherries.
Yeah, I mean, it does go back to that agricultural side of the wine cask pretty quickly, and like with all the notes, it sort of has a tendril heading in that direction.
Yeah.
It's got its fingers on it, that's for sure.
Do you find much of the distillery spirit hidden under the Shiraz?
I think for me, Distillery 100 is more present in the mouthfeel and
that creamy
in that
texture.
creaminess, but it's hard to say on first blush. I think as it sort of sits on the palate, it's getting back towards that. But first approach, I would say the cask is definitely telling the story here, not
especially on the nose. It's very much I don't find a lot of the distillery spirit there. That beautiful, delicate floral spirit. I was telling you this story once, but Distillery 100 for my wedding in 2022, we had a cask bottled by Cadenheads for it. Of this, no. Hey. I just happened to be in Scotland in 2019 at Cadenheads Warehouse. Not my fault. But yeah, it was a 26-year-old from this distillery, and there's a distillery I've always loved for that bright, floral, creamy texture.
Yeah. I think it's coming together in the finish for me. It certainly supports itself. Like, it's not thin whiskey by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
And it's not all down to the cask. So there is some persistence there from the spirit.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's less about the spirit or the cask on this one, and just the overall experience of the combination.
Yeah. Betty's seeing runny toffee on this one, which I'm inclined to agree with. There's a lot of that like burnt sugar stuff going on in the finish.
There's that like lacy sugar as well. There's that brittle toffee kind of bitterness to it as well.
Yeah.
Which I find quite pleasant. But if anyone's had freeze-dried strawberries, I find tons of those on them. That kind of bright, airy, fresh strawberry character. Yeah, it's really cool watching this evolve in the glass.
Very nice. Yeah, we'll have to come back to that one as well. And this is a little bit of not a preview, but a portent of things to come with the Creators Collection releasing later this year, which is focusing on Australian wine barrels being used in maturation. So that'll be exciting to see come through. And it's a worldwide release that everyone gets to try a little bit of Australian wine cask maturation.
Scotland has been flirting with the idea of Australian wine casks for many years, and it's really cool to see them really kind of take them up in the last 10 or so years, and growing in use and excitement as well. Because yes, everyone loves sherry cask whiskey and everyone loves port cask whiskey, but there are so many wines from around the world. Why not dip our toe?
Absolutely. And as casks get more expensive, you have to start getting more experimental.
Yeah. There was a very memorable release of whiskey that I cannot remember the name of the bottler from. It was a Ukrainian.
Very memorable.
Yeah. The whiskey itself was very memorable. Funnily enough, Distillery 100. But it wasn't SMWS. It was a Ukrainian wine cask.
Oh, okay.
And it was smuggled out of Ukraine, the whiskey. But it was a Scottish whiskey. It was very funny.
I'm not rushing us here. I just want to pre-pour a couple of these.
That is okay. I've got the QR code there up for the 100.46 strawberry Pop Tarts. Like I said, this was malt of the month for January. and it's really exciting to see Australian wine casks coming into the Scotch whiskey foray.
Really fun.
And coming to Australia after that. I was really struggling with the lid for this one.
Anyone else getting tasting notes on the strawberry Pop-Tarts? For me, it's still lingering on the palate. It's just going for ages. Sort of devolving into brown sugar, memory of a pastry.
Memory of a pastry. That pastry long forgotten. A
little too esoteric.
Yeah, I love it. But yeah, I'm excited to see that Creators Collection coming later in the year. Oh, going back to that 6 already. It's become so juicy with that water. It's all honeydew melons and
and I'm getting more of that malt that you were saying before. That's good. It's always good to leave some in the glass. Let it explore itself.
Honey nut Cheerios on that with the water.
Yeah. Very cool.
Okay. Well, we might as well move on to the third whiskey of this evening. This is 138.27, Fire Up the Chocolate Barbecue, which I'm sure is a euphemism somewhere. This is a Taiwanese whiskey, 6 years old. Have you had much experience with this distillery?
Only through the society. Yeah, so the other Taiwanese whiskey, I've seen a fair bit around Australia when it was still being imported. But I'm tending to prefer these bottlings from the society. I think there's still that real aggression in some parts.
That tropical maturation, really aggressive cask and
just
spirit.
Pulls influence from the cask. But I think there's a little more balance to these, for my money anyway.
Funny thing is, we say that, and we've got this 6-year-old whiskey. Now, 6 years old in a subtropical climate. It is quite hot, humid. The whiskeys mature or extract a lot of cask flavor very aggressively, like you were saying. And so you need to have a spirit that can both hold up to that, but then also not be under matured by the time it's extracted that oak profile.
Absolutely.
I find that Distillery 138 has really nailed that. Well, actually, both the Taiwanese distilleries have, but the other one tends to go for massive oak profile regardless. This one I find a bit more nuanced too.
That being said, they've popped this into a charred new oak barrel. So they're not shying away from
big
oak influence here.
But I'm not sure if I find this really oxidative thing about the nose as well. Reminiscent of some, like it's got that decay, that fibrous decay, like old books, and it smells a bit like a library.
It's giving me bourbon.
Yeah, I love that too. I'm looking past that at the current juncture. But yeah, it's definitely got that element to it. And that's that new charred oak, right? Absolutely. It's got all of that, like roasted walnuts and peanut brittle and
there is plenty of freshness to it as well.
A little
tropical notes like coconut, some maybe papaya or something like a hard tropical fruit.
Red papaya or red pawpaw. And as a lot of people know, one of my favorite tasting notes, tongue nut oil. Well, nosing notes. You can't taste the stuff, you'll die. Oh, wow.
It's a big one on the nose.
See, the funny thing is, as I mentioned before, with the strawberry Pop-Tarts, 61.1%. This is 58.2. This nose is a lot bigger, bolder.
I'm not finding it aggressive on the palate though. It's
Mm.
it keeps itself in check. There's a bit of like menthol, but heaps of that.
For
Oak,
me, it's more
obviously.
like pine resin.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. maybe, maybe from the oak.
Mm. But it's got so that peanut shells on the floor of a bar.
Yeah, absolutely. Saloon
A
vibes.
saloon.
But
Yeah.
back to the bourbon.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Ah.
really fun. I find that this is quite a versatile spirit as well. The peated expressions that we've had are just completely different, obviously,
Mm.
but they they take it in a really different direction, much
Yeah.
more sort of industrial at times. But yeah, really interesting to see how that the dichotomy of the spirit.
Well, also it's really interesting to hear that industrial element coming forward from because a lot of distilleries that internationally use peated malt are buying their peated malt using Highland peat, right?
Mm.
Inverness peat, or that kind of ilk. So it's much more that wood smoke, burnt chocolate, and occasionally industrial, but it's just how it's treated compared to that really salty coastal petrichor fusel element,
Of the Isle of Peat.
Yeah. I love the name for this whiskey. I think it's absolutely right.
There's definitely barbecue elements to it.
Yeah.
I'm maybe smelling hot coals.
Yeah. It's definitely got now it's been sitting and opening up a bit. I am seeing that, the wrap a banana in chocolate and foil and put it on a campfire or barbecue. No. Maybe some of you might
never heard of somebody doing that.
Maybe someone else
made
might.
that up.
It's not a fever dream I've had. Someone might be able to give me some support here, but
no, sorry, everyone in the comments
is it's saying only no, just
nobody's
happened.
heard of this.
But yeah, the banana and chocolate wrapped up in foil, thrown on the campfire or on a barbecue. That reminds me of this quite a lot. Now it's opening up.
Yeah.
But that I know I bring it up all the time, but that tongue nut oil thing is particularly present on this, and it's that beautiful, fragrant, varnished timber kind of element, mahogany.
Yeah, varnish definitely, mahogany for sure. Betty's wondering what kind of chocolate they have in Taiwan, and
I honestly couldn't answer.
I think it's actually the Scots that are interpreting that one as chocolate, not the Taiwanese.
Yeah. Having not been to Taiwan, I couldn't answer the question.
I am getting a little bit of
steak goes on a barbecue. That's a brilliant comment. Thank you, Howard, for that one. Someone's got to know the banana chocolate, or you're just going to let me drown out here.
Yeah, no. I'm getting a little bit of chili, dried chili flakes, maybe.
Yeah.
There's just that little bit of a. It's not even heat; it's just the flavor.
Or like a poblano pepper or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something fancy.
This has really enticed me at the moment. I could sit here and dissect this for a while.
Mm.
All right.
That's tasty.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to coming back to that. Before we hit the final whiskey, I think we should go back through the first few drams. But let's move on to our fourth dram. Let's see if I can actually open this one.
So this is the 8.44 touched by a bear's paw.
In our spicy and dry profile.
Always good when they rhyme.
Spicy and dry profile has been, it's pretty well documented. One of my personal favorites. But this was a full maturation in first fill Oloroso, which is really cool. Bottled at 59.7%. It's really. I should also mention this is a very early code, and only 44 casks. Put that in perspective. Cask one, Distillery 100 has 46.
Yeah.
So, certain distilleries, as you've probably heard, but for those who haven't, certain distilleries we either might see come more frequently or less frequently. They'll either pass panel a lot more, or there might also be into business politics where we won't be able to get cast from a certain distillery because they just won't let us. But in the case of a lot of these, it's just about passing panel at the end of the day. That is what kind of separates us from a lot of the other independent bottlers. Now rigorous tasting panel.
Absolutely.
Even though it seems sometimes by the names of casts, it's 12 drunk Scots people around a table. It is a lot more intricate than that. At least some of the names, well, all the names here are relatively tame. Oh. This is definitely so. Funny thing I find about Oloroso sherry casks, full maturation or not, you're either going to go right into that dry, very oak-driven Oloroso sherry, the really rich, nutty sherry-driven. This for me is popping up more as that oak-driven.
Yeah, I'm seeing more of that oak, also more sort of almost citrus in line with like a marmalade. Bit of I don't know if you can smell bitterness, but
you can.
It's like a bitter almond almost.
Yeah, almost like marzipan. Yeah, that bitter almond, but it's sweetened. Or cyanide.
My favorite tasting note.
There is no cyanide in the whiskies tonight.
That tastes great. I love that. That's surprising for 8 years. Scottish maturation, 8 years is generally not enough to get a really rich coating of that Oloroso, but the
especially
cask
in
must have been
a full butt.
Cask must have been doing a lot of work because there's definite Oloroso in there.
Definite Oloroso, definite timber. I'd say this is more than likely going to be a Spanish oak or European oak cask as well.
It's really dry.
Yeah. But this is really active for that size of cask.
For sure. Yeah.
Which is cool to see. And like I said, I love seeing spicy and dry. It's one of the more rare flavor profiles for us to see. And it'll be increasingly more rare for us to see going forward with the new flavor profiles coming out later this year for us here in Australia, although we will see them start to pepper our tastings going forward.
Absolutely. We're going to drip feed them out.
Yep.
We can't wait.
No. Starting with something really exciting being launched in February, which will be announced this Friday.
Keep an eye out.
Yeah, keep an eye out.
What are you tasting there?
Sorry, I just needed a little sip of water. There's these beautiful dried Chinese black plums that you can use for cooking that I get on this. They're dry, spicy, like peppery, funky.
I think I need to go to more expensive grocery stores.
I also get there's a meatiness to this. Takes me to the Faulty Towers skit of duck with orange, duck with plum, and duck surprise. Because it's definitely got duck with plum.
Yeah, meaty, dry.
It's got that gamey kind of red fowl meat. So that duck kind of
I'm seeing a bit of cereal grain coming through as well, like grist.
For me, it's more like a rye
Yeah,
grain spice, almost like rye bread.
rye is a cereal grain.
No way.
I'll allow it.
But it's like, for me, it's like Schwarzbrot, like dark rye bread.
Yeah, definitely on the heavier side. And it lingers in the mouth, that dark richness.
Tons of nutmeg I find on this as well, on both nose and palate, all the way through it.
Yeah. That's a lot of that spice, I reckon, from the cask. I'm wondering what some water might do to that.
Me too, actually.
I'll give it a little try.
So there's this comment here by Howard, a few more years in the barrel would have been wow. I don't know. I think there's absolutely potential for that. Then this is kind of where it sits, right? So if it tastes great at that particular moment, do you leave it in and hope for the best, or do you potentially run the risk of it becoming over oaked and with 8 years and this taking so much from that cask? I think.
Yeah, and getting this dry already.
Yeah, I reckon leaving it much longer might have actually gone
over tannic.
Yeah, a bit too far. But you never know until you try it.
Yeah,
but
it's an expensive
experiment. But you never know, and that's the hard part about it. Because once you take it out, I mean, you cannot put toothpaste back in tube.
Cannot,
unless
you're doing a 2-to-1.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of,
yeah, why don't we go back and have a little crack? I'll quickly whack that QR code up for this particular release. Touched by a Bear's Paw.
And a quick reminder that any 2 bottles purchased from now until the 31st of January qualify for a free bottle
of the Marmalade Overdrive.
That's pretty good. It's a $169 bottle, down from $199. So the $199 bottle, free for you.
Yeah,
with 2 bottle purchase.
Which is pretty exciting because that Marmalade Overdrive was really, really cool.
It's a good way to kick off the year.
Yeah, overdrive.
Push it to the limit.
I was going to say that, like I said, Spice and Dry, the new flavor profile is coming through later this year, but we will be peppering them through. I'm personally really excited about the new flavor profiles. Very concise and exciting, but Spicy and Dry has been one that I've always gravitated towards, that and Oily and Coastal.
Well, they're living on, just
redesignated.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I'm super excited about the new flavor profiles. In fact, I remember my first work meeting with Matt and Adam, and then showing me the potential new 8 flavor profiles. And I just go, this is what I want to see.
It makes a lot of sense.
It does.
It'll be a good transition, I reckon.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to seeing them on the site. Heading back to number 1 here, chewy textured meanderings.
You haven't added water to that yet, have you?
I didn't, no. And it's really really opened up. It's giving me more mellow vibes now. Lots more fruit, lots more malt. So I'm thinking more of the distillery spirit sort of characteristic coming through more than the cask.
Do you want to have a taste of yours? Seeing as I can't take water out of
You can't put it back in the tube.
Have a crack at the water.
Yeah, perhaps too soft with the water.
When I first added it, it was kind of where this is sitting now.
Yeah, right.
But it's gone too far the other way.
Lovely and delicate now.
Sometimes patience just... It already waited 17 years. I couldn't wait 30 minutes. Yeah, that's what I want to see from a Distillery 6.
There's a bit more of more actual red wine now on the strawberry pop tarts for me,
Yeah,
like an oxidized Pinot Noir.
yeah, it is much more winey now.
That's interesting.
Now,
On the palate, though,
yeah, if you like wine cask whiskey, if you like Australian wine cask whiskey, you'll actually really enjoy this, especially after some time in the glass.
yeah,
It's a
this
bit more delicate than you'd expect for.
this almost finishes like a PX cask for me. There's so much of that rich sultana, sticky dark fruit that just goes on and on without being too tannic. It's quite a weird one, being so familiar with Australian red wine casks used in Australian whiskey. It takes it in a whole different direction.
Yeah. I've only tasted maybe 3 or 4 Australian wine cask Scottish whiskies in the past.
Mm.
Maybe a few more, but such a small amount compared to everything else, you know. And usually they are treated to get more of that wine element out of them to try
Yeah.
and get to kind of showcase that in the Scottish whiskey in that way. Just like I think this one has been, but this is just very nuanced. I still find the spirit very delicately hidden underneath.
Mm.
Not to the point where I go, I can't find it, but
It's definitely underneath.
yeah, it's definitely
It's not on top.
It's definitely. If I didn't know that this was what they were trying to showcase, I would go, they left this too long. But
They find some really interesting flavors in there, though.
oh, I think that's delightful. You added water to this one, didn't you?
No,
that was the next one. Yeah.
but the fire up the chocolate barbecue, the Taiwanese whiskey. Back to this.
Mm.
Lots of vanilla now. Lots and lots, stacks of it. That new oak is doing work for sure.
And coconut panna cotta.
Yeah, really creamy.
It's almost like fried vanilla ice cream, deep fried vanilla ice cream. Like breaded, like fried breaded
liquid.
Yeah.
I think that one has improved greatly. The oak is back in control, or rather not in control, but kept in balance. There's more of a
more malt coming through now.
More malt, more sweetness, more of those background layers are coming to the fore now that the oak has taken a step back.
I still think, like you said, your first note was I'm getting bourbon.
Mm.
It's still there. You know, it is much more Americanized. I guess is the word I would use, but the malt is very much more present now.
I'm getting a lot of that coconut panna cotta that you mentioned.
That creamy,
really creamy,
yeah,
thick on the palate. Yeah, that's cool.
And it's a distillery that we, are really excited by in the society, and it is just one of those things that it's a distillery that no one really sees outside of certain parts of the world.
Yeah.
But it's had a great success as well, and they make incredible spirit, which is why we love them so much.
We're lucky to get so much of it.
Yeah, we've bottled quite a few casks first of all, for a distillery outside of Scotland, and a late code as well. So distillery 138. 27 casks. I noticed just before this one, just actually behind your left shoulder. Biscuit dunking delight.
One from the archive.
Yeah. But we've had quite a few of these casks, and they've been just getting better and better and better as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I would happily drink that at home.
And a final revisit of the Touched by a Bear's Paw before we move on to the final dram.
Final dram.
Still lots of spice on this one for me. Definitely fits in that spicy and dry category.
I remember hearing I think it was Matt who said this, that there was someone somewhere in the society that will remain nameless, and I also can't remember the name, so that's fine, who kind of helps pick the flavor profiles. And there's been this rumor going around that any whiskies that kind of could sit between deep, rich, and dried fruits or spicy and dry, if they particularly like it, they'll put it in spicy and dry just to make sure that, because deep, rich, and dried fruits is more accessible for a lot of people because they want it to not sell out immediately and they want to have more access to it. I think it's just a fun rumor, but fun rumors are, always good fun. Yeah, there's much more Oloroso I find coming out on this after some time.
Mm-hmm.
The oak is still very much at the forefront, but there's very much.
Yeah, we're starting to lean away from those very sharp spices and more into like a, I'd say almost like a, I suppose it's still nutmeg, is what you were saying. Yeah. So
but I'm getting more fruit coming from the actual wine itself.
And maybe heated up.
It's definitely kind of like a more stewed stone fruit kind of coming out now.
Yeah.
Almost like stewed black plums, with tons of nutmeg and cinnamon. But it's definitely that dark fruit coming through from that Oloroso sherry.
Somebody messed up the sangria.
Yeah, there is actually quite a lot of citrus on this, like you mentioned as well, like blood oranges. Yeah, that's delicious. I will definitely be enjoying the rest of that later on. All right, I think it's time.
This last one?
Yeah, move on to the last whiskey.
We've got Underwater Barbecue.
Underwater Barbecue.
Fun label on this one, as most of the Heresy bottlings have.
I found myself saying today to a bar here in Melbourne that we spend quite a bit of time with, the Heresy releases I've been finding have just gone from good to better to great over the time of their releases. But we're up to currently about 42 in our glass right now. But this is 42, 24. There's a bit of a typo there.
Oops.
Yeah. Oh well. But I've been finding them just getting better and better and better. And Dunnage New Guy last year that we released was phenomenal. 5 PD Potion, Gastronomic Fusion, and then having tasted this late last year, absolutely blown away with this particular release as well. Blend of Orkney and Isla Spirit. This is actually a furthering on of a few other previous releases. Tar Pits being one. Can't remember the other one off the top of my head, unfortunately.
Returning to a tried and true formula. On the nose, plenty of peat. Not boggy kind of peat. Pretty
very
bright.
Minerally.
Yeah. Fair amount of Oloroso, I would say, helping to coat that.
Yeah. Because Oloroso will also add that mineral component as well.
Can do.
I love this comment from John Hitchin. Why are there 2 barbecues on tonight?
Summer.
Yeah, it is summer.
Barbecue weather.
If you haven't had the heat wave hit you already, it's coming. We were 42 degrees yesterday. Something like that, 44.
That's not barbecue weather.
No. You barbecue being outside. Just.
This smells delicious, though. This is more like the barbecue that I like going to, like a hibachi
Yeah, it's got that low smoke hibachi kind of.
with some grilled octopus,
Yeah, I was about to say the same.
led by the label.
No way. I don't judge a book by its cover.
That's yummy. That's really delicious.
I can definitely see the Orkney spirit in there.
Yeah.
It's that slaty, limestoney kind of character.
Maybe it's just that it's a blended malt, but I'm not seeing the heather, the honey that I would usually see from a Orkney. It's more
Because-
about the Isla sort of flavor profile.
I see, especially, I'm assuming the Orkney is the one, and I'm assuming it is because it's the only one we deal in, is Distillery 4. Therefore, I'm assuming that there is versatility there because we've seen so many single casts through that, yeah, they can have that herbaceous, burnt rosemary, heather, lavender kind of element to them. Or there's been so many that are so cold, slaty, grey, kind of minerally element.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of that side of things, and I'm definitely seeing a little bit of that burnt rosemary. But yeah, you're right. None of that heather and honey.
Yeah. It's really it leans way more towards the salinity and the mineralic. Um, in fact, it makes me think of a Campbelltown whiskey in the way that it's quite windswept and oily.
Yeah, and Campbelltown whiskies have that same slaty minerality that I'm talking about. You know, again, well, two particular spirits from Campbelltown do. Anyway. Oh wow.
Howard's not able to see your bananas on the barbecue on this one. Me neither. I still don't think it exists.
I'm so disappointed in every Australian. Right. Jesus Christ. Or any non-Australian either. Just go camping and wrap a banana in chocolate and foil and then eat it. After putting it on the fire. Not just wrap it in foil and then eat the foil with it.
I think I'd prefer the whiskey.
I'll be let down. So this particular release has just absolutely blown us away in the office. We pulled the bottle up just before. Since we've had it, we've enjoyed a little bit of it. We did some tasting and preview stuff of it, but yeah, someone's been enjoying it. I just saw a tasting note here. Coconut shavings, sun cream, and water brought damp moss. So we might need to add a little bit of water to this. Might
Worth
see
a
a bit
try.
more of that kind of herbal Orkney element there.
Giving water to whiskey is not always about trying to temper the ethanol. Oftentimes, it'll release just a different flavor profile.
It's alchemy.
Sure is.
It's pure alchemy.
Or chemistry.
Depends on which, whether you're medieval or 21st century.
Yeah, that's definitely changed it. I'm getting more driftwood. Maybe that leans towards that mossiness that they were speaking of.
The next note was sandalwood.
Less actual smoke now. More of an actual peat, the bogginess. That's quite cool.
I'm getting a bit more kind of sweetness as well. So I'm starting to see some like honeycomb coming through.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's always worthwhile to go backwards once you've had some peat as well, because that quite changes your palate quite dramatically.
ChatGPT to the rescue. Bananas in chocolate and foil on a barbecue, often called banana boats, are a classic, easy, and gooey dessert. Banana is left in its skin, split open, stuffed with chocolate. Thank
ChatGPT
you.
doesn't count.
I'm still on my own. Also, it's never been called banana boats as far as I'm concerned. But thank you. I really appreciate the support. Feel some kind of vindication. Yeah. Oh well.
Some tasty drams on tonight.
Yeah. Did you have any particular favorites or lean-tos, I guess?
Yeah, I think on second try, the Fire Up the Chocolate Barbecue really took it for me. With all of that creaminess, the oak still present, but sort of stepping back a little bit. Some of that maltiness coming through, and some really interesting coconutty tropical vibes.
I'd have to agree with you. I regret putting water into my 6 because just some time in glass, that's all it needed. Otherwise, that'd be up there as well. I think the strawberry Pop Tarts is just a great experience. It's really, really fun,
Very
and
interesting.
exciting.
Something we don't see very often here.
Yeah, and it's just super exciting. But I think, underwater barbecue and the Fire Up the Chocolate, the 2 barbecues, they took it.
It's barbecue weather.
Yeah.
It's always nice to finish with some peat.
Any other fun comments? Betty has bought this one, the lightly peated, and somehow evaporates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you've seen the bottle that we have in the office. It's evaporating for us as well. We have that issue.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to have one at home. Or if I did, it wouldn't last long.
It wouldn't last long.
No. The temperature in my house is just,
it's out of control.
Unfortunate.
All those bananas on the barbecue raise the temperature.
I'm not going to live that one down, am I? We've got some fun events coming to cities around Australia as well. We've got our Perth event that just went live last night, which is for February our term, but in early March it is the Sherry Mayhem event at Terrarium.
Featuring the diptych
the
collectors.
The new releases coming out in February our term, which is being announced on Friday. We've got events here in Melbourne at Whiskey and Ailment. We've got events in Sydney. We've got some stuff coming up in March as well, so that you can stay tuned for in Canberra and Adelaide. We've got Matt Bailey coming over for your Adelaide event next week, so that's really exciting if you're over there. But yeah, if you haven't bought tickets, go ahead, go to your events. If you have any thoughts or theories on events or want to potentially put an idea forward, feel free to. Whether it happens or not, we'll find out. What do we got here? 8.44, the winner for you. Thank you, Howard.
Yeah, really dry.
I'd say that's a pretty close second.
Certainly stands out. It's its own style within the lineup.
You added water. How's that going for you?
I think it went well. There's a bit more like marzipan and chocolate. It's a bit softer, a bit sweeter.
Yeah.
Less of that dry spice though, which is sort of what made that really pop for me. So I would avoid it on repeat.
Kind of like me with the 6, where I find that much more like leathery Oloroso now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have steered clear. Oh well.
But that 8 is fantastic.
Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you, Betty. I hope you had a good time. Yeah.
for the first of the year.
First of the year.
January virtual in the bag. Now Feb coming up.
February, yeah. Sherry Mayhem.
That'll be fun. We'll be launching that on our turn day.
On our turn day.
Great.
Yeah, very exciting. Some exciting releases in it as well. Something fun for you as well, Betty.
Hint.
Yes, something big and peated. But we'd love to see you all again for next virtual and at events going forward. Don't forget the Marmalade Overdrive with every order of over 2 bottles.
2 bottles or over.
2 bottles or over. Thank you. Because trust me, this will not last long.
It won't.
Nope. And it is telling me quite boldly this week only. So
until the 31st.
Yeah. Well, have a great night, everyone, and we look forward to seeing you in February.
See you at the next one.
Cheers.
Bye.